We just got an update about the EA Sports College Football 25 cover athletes. And that's right, athletes plural, because there's going to be more than one cover athlete. So this update is coming from Matt Brown via his Extra Points newsletter. So I'm going to link that down below. This update's actually in the free portion of his newsletter, so anyone can access it as long as you subscribe to his newsletter, which, like I said, is free. So here was what Matt Brown wrote in his most recent newsletter. This top bullet point says, there are multiple cover athletes since EA is releasing multiple versions of the video game. So this confirms two things for us right off the bat. One, there will be multiple cover athletes, and then two, there's multiple versions of the game. The second one, the multiple versions of the game, could have been assumed. We don't know how many versions. We don't know if it'll be 2, 3, 4. We'll have to see. We'll probably find out on May 16th with the full reveal, assuming that is the actual date. But now we know, depending on which version of the game you buy, the base version or like the deluxe version, you're going to get a different cover with a different athlete for that version. So it doesn't sound like they're going to do what they did in the past, where like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 had two different covers. It sounds like it's just going to be dependent upon which edition of the video game you buy, whether that's the base, deluxe, or whatever else they offer. Now, the second bullet point is that each cover athlete is a current college football player, meaning it will be a player that we see in this upcoming season. So it will not be any coaches. It won't be Nick Saban. It won't be a mascot. It won't be any previous Heisman winners. Caleb Williams will not be on the cover. Johnny Manziel will not be on the cover. So it's going to be someone like Carson Beck or Ollie Gordon, who's actually going to be playing college football in 2024. Now, the last bit of information that Matt Brown provided about the cover athletes is that number one, all the cover athletes play in a different power conference, and number two, each cover athlete plays a different position. So we're not going to see multiple cornerbacks or multiple running backs or multiple linebackers because they each play a different position. And you're not going to see two guys from the SEC or two guys from the Big Ten because each one is from a different power conference. So let's just assume there's three different editions of the game and there's going to be one cover athlete on each edition. In that scenario, you could see like one quarterback from the Big 12, one running back from the SEC, and then one DB from like the ACC, something like that. So you 100% won't see Ewers and Carson Beck on the cover because they both are quarterbacks from the SEC, which sounds strange because Texas is now in the SEC. But at the very least, we know it'll be two players that play in different power conferences and play a different position. And I'm going to assume there's at least three editions of the game, which means there's going to be three cover athletes. Matt Brown also tweeted this right here. He said, I have to admit, one of the cover athletes was a legitimate surprise to me. So this kind of raises some questions like who could it possibly be? So I saw people on social media throwing out names you wouldn't expect, maybe like Cade Klubnik. That would definitely be a surprise to me at least. I also saw somebody say Donovan Edwards, the running back from Michigan, which I thought was a pretty good guess because you would expect them to do like Will Johnson if they were going to pick a Michigan national champion, but Donovan Edwards would definitely be a surprise pick. So we'll have to see, but with all of this information, let me know down in the comments who you think these cover athletes are going to be. There's going to be at least two, and I would assume three. And if EA's target date for the full reveal is still May 16th, we should find out officially who the cover athletes are then. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to stay updated on College Football 25, and follow me on Instagram at BringNCAA Back.